Hello, welcome to Pub Football. It's an early morning episode for us on a Saturday morning, 20th of June. We're going to review last night's games, Norwich, Southampton and Tottenham, Man United, and preview the games today in the Premier League. We'll try and make it as quick as we can. Firstly, looking back at last night's games while we have a coffee. It's morning in the pub. Pubs do serve coffee. When I worked in a pub, I hated anyone who ordered one. But
do they?
Yeah, today I'm one of those people. Norwich going down 3-0 at home to Southampton. Not what we predicted. We thought that the break would have been good for Norwich to get their players back, and Southampton were on a roll going in, but they've not really lost a step. Goals from Ings, Armstrong and Redmond absolutely wiping the floor with Norwich in the end.
Yeah, played very well. As you say, Norwich again started the game really, really well. Didn't take their chances, and I thought kind of Southampton grew into it and took their goals really well. And Danny Ings back scoring goals again, which is good. So yeah, very good performance.
Do you think for Danny Ings it's unfortunate that the Euros has been postponed because it's another year for some new young upstarts to come in and get an England spot, because he'd be a shoo-in now?
Yeah, potentially. I'd be interested to see if he stays in the summer, because I think he'd be a really good acquisition for Spurs and Arsenal, someone kind of heading that way. I think he'd be a great signing.
I would love him at Spurs for reasons we're going to talk about very, very shortly. Looking at the overall of the game, though, for Norwich, this was an opportunity to make a statement, to say we've got our players back, maybe we're better behind closed doors, it's an equaliser, we're going to make a proper go at staying in the Premier League. It looks like they're going to go down now.
Yeah, it's probably one of the games they picked out of the 9. They would have gone, we need to win this one, and they got absolutely turned over. But they played well again. It's been the story of the season, isn't it? They played really well all season, just not getting the results, which is a shame.
I saw a tweet yesterday saying Norwich, are they the best team to be bottom of the Premier League?
Yeah, I think they are, to be honest. I think they've been great. They do. They play great football, and it's such a shame that every time they make a mistake, they seem to get absolutely turned over for it.
That's the Premier League, though. And Southampton, a mid-table finish. What a turnaround from the 9-0 against Leicester earlier in the season.
Yes. He's done a fantastic job. He's a manager you might look at and go, he might move on soon. He's a good manager.
I hope he doesn't, because I think he can build something at Southampton. They've got a good foundation, that club. It's a stable but solid base for him to build from. Let's move on to the Spurs-Man United game. 1-1. Frustrating from a Spurs fan's perspective, because it started so well. I thought Eric Lamela was excellent. Go a goal up, sit in your box. You're always going to concede.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I thought Spurs started really well. As you say, I thought Lamela was bang at it. The way Bergwijn just walked past Maguire for the goal just made me laugh. And the keeper was just as bad. So, just sat back, as you say, just got deeper and deeper and deeper, and United just capitalised. And well played, Pogba. 5
subs. Mourinho uses 2. Keeps a absolutely knackered Harry Kane on the pitch. He's not played since January. He's been out for months and months. It's his first game back. No striker on the bench, which is where someone like Danny Ings would be great. But even without a striker on the bench, from about 60-odd minutes in, he was practically playing in a midfield role. And we would have been better off having someone quicker who could counter, because Kane was knackered. And when the ball came into him, he was giving it away because he was absolutely buggered.
He reminded me of the Kane from the World Cup, where towards the end of our campaign, he was just gone. And he's basically, as you say, he kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper, not being a part of the play at all. And as you say, just put Son up front, kind of stretch the back 4, turn the game around a little bit. But no, it didn't happen.
No, it wasn't good enough. I thought Mourinho made a mess of it. Whereas Solskjaer, having Pogba come off the bench was perfect, because especially with Spurs using only 2 substitutes, what it did was allow Pogba to come in when they were tired legs. There was more space, and he played very, very well. I
agree. And United are getting better by the game at the moment. I didn't realise how good their record was before we went into lockdown.
Oh, no, they're fantastic.
It's crazy to see the turnaround, because he was getting slated earlier in the season, Solskjaer, wasn't he? So, Pogba came on, made a difference, made Eric Dyer look like an idiot. They played pretty well.
Winks didn't help by standing there, but that's the problem with defending so deep and expecting the defenders to do it for so long is it's not just about keeping them out. That makes your defenders tired, both physically and mentally, and that's when mistakes happen, like Dyer, with a fresh Pogba on the pitch, who's got quick feet, just skipping around him. And, there wasn't much contact, but there was enough for a penalty.
Oh, definitely. And he took it really well, Fernandes. I actually thought Pogba was going to take it, so I'm pleased he didn't. And the second one, obviously, was disallowed. Second one was never a penalty, which thankfully got turned around because Mourinho was going absolutely mental on the sideline.
I'm getting frustrated with Mourinho at Tottenham, defending a one-goal lead like that when Tottenham are playing so well, and Tottenham always looks dangerous going forward. And then to completely stop the team going forward, because it was still a defensive show in the first half where it was sit back and break, but then it was just stand on your goal line. You can't, that's not sustainable, especially over that much time in a football match.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's become the Mourinho way, hasn't it? He's not an attacking manager anymore. He is a let's try and counter and see what we can do. And it didn't work, and it's a shame because you could have won that game. Could have easily won that game.
Glorified Sam Allardyce?
Yeah, potentially.
Great.
Just with a nice silver hair, bless him. So yeah, no, fair play.
Be great in Newcastle. Something I do want to mention is Sky Sports punditry. It was infuriating. At half-time, I loved the Keane rant. It was brilliant. But at full-time, because they're Keane and Evra, they didn't mention the Spurs performance once. It was an hour of just Man United. It was ridiculous. It was so unbalanced. And it wasn't necessarily Keane and Evra's fault. The presenters and the producers aren't even asking questions about the Spurs performance. It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't like biased panels. It was always going to be like that, wasn't it? Which is a shame.
But even a Man United panel could have been asked, Spurs sat too deep, can you comment on the Spurs performance? What about them? There was nothing.
No. Oh, God. It's
all from Sky.
It's a nightmare.
Is that worth the subscription? There's a question.
It'll be nice to see what a game's like on Match of the Day, mate. I hope it's a bit better than that. So
BBC has to be impartial. It's part of the guideline. Let's move on to today's games. We'll get through these quickly. We don't need to go too in depth. We'll do a quick sentence on each and just give score predictions. So starting at 12:30, Watford versus Leicester at Vicarage Road. Watford need to win, but I think Leicester will probably get the job done.
Agreed. I think Leicester will be bang at it. I think they're going to win 3-0.
3-0. I was going to say 2-1.
Look at your face there.
I was going to say 2-1. 3-0's a bit much.
I think they're going to be bang at it. I really do. I think they're going to smash him.
Indeed, he's back in as well, which is going to really help. And he's got some time to get fit again. But Watford beat Liverpool, so you never know. Moving on to Brighton Arsenal. Arsenal's second game in 3 days after the first one was so poor. Good thing for Arsenal fans is David Luiz is suspended, so he can't be playing. And
another good thing is Xhaka's injured. God.
Xhaka's injured. Mari's injured. So who's going to play at centre-half? I don't know. But
Rob Holding will come in. We'll be all right.
It's going to be a difficult game. Brighton, first game back. You don't really know what you're getting from Brighton. Sometimes they're brilliant, sometimes they're bad. But these are the games Arsenal have been losing over the last 18 months.
Yeah.
Where do you think it's going to go?
I think the fact we played that extra game, I think just gives us the edge. I think we're going to win 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be a game of many chances.
No, I can't wait to watch it later.
West Ham Wolves. This is the game where not having a crowd in your stadium could be the most prevalent, because West Ham's crowd hate West Ham at the moment. They hate the owners. They're always protesting outside the stadium. It's an awful atmosphere to play in. For Wolves, one of the best teams in the Premier League, had a shocking start to the season. They've crept back up the league. They've been very, very, very good. They're definitely in the Champions League hunt. Difficult one to call.
Yeah, I think Wolves are just going to edge it 2-1. I think they're just going to have a little bit more about them.
I'm actually going to go the opposite. I think West Ham are going to bounce back, because West Ham have got some very talented players in there. On paper, West Ham's team is not much worse than Wolves at all.
I didn't realise how close West Ham are to the bottom three as well.
They're only above on goal difference.
They are, yeah. I didn't realise how close they were, so they need to start picking up points sharpish.
I just think without the crowd, players like Anderson might play better. I don't know. I just think this could be the first proper upset result of the weekend, and I see West Ham winning 2-1.
Fair play. 2-1 Wolves.
Bournemouth Crystal Palace. Now, this is the first ever Premier League game to be shown on the BBC, and what an exciting game for them to get. Bournemouth in the relegation zone. Crystal Palace is a team we've spoken about a lot on these shows, about not being our favourite team to watch, but they're safe in mid-table. So Bournemouth have got more to play for. For me, still, Bournemouth are a better team. Crystal Palace will probably win.
Yeah, I agree. It's a massive game for Bournemouth. These are the games they've got to win. They are right in the relegation mix at the moment, aren't they?
I think they're going to be playing. Ryan Fraser will never play for Bournemouth again. It's been announced by Eddie Howe.
Spurs before to
extend his contract at the end of the season.
I think Bournemouth are just going to nick it. I think Callum Wilson might score a goal, and that'll be it. 1-0.
0-0. I think the BBC are going to get a 0-0 to kick it off.
Oh no! Oh god!
Oh, it's going to be terrible. Anyway,
it's not the best. It's not the best fixtures today, is it, mate?
No, it's not. That was Pub Football with Miles and Jimmy. We'll post another video tomorrow morning. Again, mornings. We're actually going to watch some games together tomorrow. Social distance in a garden, hopefully. That's the plan. Anyway,
yes.
Enjoy the games today. Hopefully there's a bit more balanced coverage than last night, but you can never tell with these things. One last thing to say, and that's coffee cheers. Getting it all together.